Okay guys, welcome back. Today, for once, I can actually say we are not working on the NYG. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for stopping back. We are going to be working on the big turboed PT Cruiser, as you see up in the title. But let's give you a little backstory. The SRT, which let me show you. So this SRT that's been parked for a bit, due to the fact is we bought a built engine for this car. So it was supposed to be built. It does have the pistons, it does have the rods that it's supposed to have. We were going to put it in and put an automatic on it. When we pulled this motor and transmission, the 5-speed out of this car, we noticed that our built motor was stuck. So it was sitting for a while. It wasn't stuck from being seized, it was stuck because it wasn't assembled properly. So that put this project on hold. I had that motor for a few years, and well, I didn't have the money to really put into this car right away. So this is an extremely big turbo. Extremely big, we'll just say that much. We're shooting for the highest horsepower SRT in the Maritimes, so the side of Quebec. We're hoping for 650 to the wheel through a 3-speed auto with nitrous. That gets me to the big turboed PT Cruiser. Now, like a lot of my projects, they come with little to no money for funding because, let's face it, we're not big. If you want to help us with that, hit that subscribe button. So what we're going to do is, if you guys remember, Jeff had, and it was my old PT, it was Project Neighbor. And what it was a 03 PT GT. He had that, he bought it off of me, and they got in a car accident. The insurance company wrote the car off and gave it back to us for free. So we got ourselves a 2.4 GT swap. When all of that was happening, I ended up picking up this one owner 05 PT Cruiser convertible 5-speed. So, you know, it's NA, it was 5-speed. I don't mind the convertible. I own 2 other convertibles, so it was kind of cool. I always wanted to SRT swap this, or I should say 2.4 turbo swap this. So that's what we're gonna do. But wait, this is gonna have 450 plus horsepower, and it's gonna cost me nothing because we're taking the parts off the SRT. Now, I'm not stripping the SRT to build this one, that'd be stupid. But I am taking parts that I will never use off the SRT for this one. So what I mean by that is the SRT was an S256 Bog Warner AGP turbo kit. I have no use for it no more. I bought a completely different turbo and it still has an AGP kit. So I had 2 kits kicking around. So this is going to be an S256 Bog Warner big turbo car. We do have a Clutchmaster Stage 4 clutch, modular clutch at that. We're keeping the 5-speed in it, which should be a T350, which should be the same as a 2nd gen Neon. We have our old injectors out of the SRT, which is like 900cc fuel injector clinic. We have a return line that I got in a deal many years ago. So we'll put the return line on this, and the meth from the SRT will be going into this vehicle. Due to the fact is the SRT is running E85. There's no need to have meth in there anymore. So this will get the meth, and this will get the SRT fuel pump, which is a 255, because my SRT now has a 450 Walbro. So it's kind of, I had no need for the parts, but there was nowhere really to put them, and people don't like shipping stuff from Canada to the States. They're too heavy, so I might as well put it to use. So this is the 450 plus horsepower PT Cruiser. I definitely am talking too much before we even start. Up in the right hand corner, we built retrofits for it, but I didn't want to put the retrofits in until I did the motor, because when I do the motor, I'm going to paint this vehicle. It needs 2 fenders, it's going to need rockers on both sides. It's an East Coast car. So without further ado, let me stop talking. I'm going to pull this motor. We're going to get the front end off this. We want to get the SRT or the 2.4 turbo swap in. Good news is, if you guys are into the Neon, this motor has 130,000 kilometers on it. So I'd say 80,000 miles. This 2.4 is going in Jeff's 03 Neon, which will be a different video. We're going to swap it to a 2.4 with a 5-speed. Right now it's single over cam automatic. That is the most I've ever talked coming to a vehicle. So I'm going to start disassembling this. Like I said, I am going to take the front end off. You do see the WRX hood wasn't fully glued down. Didn't really want to mess with it too much until it came time for bodywork. So basically, we're just going to start disassembling this. I want this car to stay as factory as possible, which means I still want cruise. I want AC. I want the fun stuff. So I didn't tell you the secret. We're putting this on air too. We have an air ride kit. It was for a Neon, but we're going to, the front struts are the same. but we're gonna do back bags and we're gonna bag this car. So right now it's on first gen stock springs, and they were free. So up in the right hand corner if you want to check that out. Okay guys, so the part that's coming up is that, as you see, I got the front end off of the car. You did notice I ripped and teared the bumper off. The bumper was broke down here in silicone. I didn't really care about it, to be honest. And it was spinning in here by the headlights when I went to do the HIDs, or the retrofits. That's why the retrofits never went on. So I knew it needed new fenders, I know it needs new bumpers, I didn't care. So far this is what you see outside. The rim will go back on the car. We got the rod out in one piece. As you notice, the AC was never in this car. It was because I'm going to assume where it sat for 4 years, the AC condenser was seized. They just left the lines dangling there. So I'm going to put the AC back in. I do have a condenser out of the turboed car, so that's not too bad. I did take the fender off this side to see what I was working with, because again, it needed a new fender, and I already got the axle out of this side. So this side is done. You come down here, and well, good old Canadian weight reduction. So the motor swapped over, it rhymes and dries. We're going to do a complete body job on this car. So it's going to get new rockers. I think it needs like a 2-inch patch on the inner rocker. Back of the quarter panels are going to need a little work probably as well. So this is what we got right here. I'm going to walk you guys through this one. I'm going to take the inner fender off. I'm going to take the axle out. Going to have some fun. And then this fender is going to come off as well. So let's get on it. I want to get this done, and then basically the only thing left to do would be cut the exhaust and I think the heater core lines and a couple plugs probably, and we can yank this out. So it's not that bad. Okay, so we're ready to pull this. Chuck came over to give me a hand because it's kind of easier, 2 people. We're gonna jack it up, take the weight off of the motor, and then we're just gonna undo the 3 mounts. So the center mount's already undone. We're gonna get the top mount, the bottom mount, and transmission mount. And then we're gonna brain the car up, slide the motor and tranny sideways, pull it out, and I'd like to say this is the last I'll see this motor, but it's going in Jeff's car, so it's definitely, it ain't the last I'll see this motor. So now I'm gonna have to get the front harness and the fuse panel and engine bay harness switched over to the 2.4 GT one. I have to swap the keys, the ignition, the door locks, the trunk lock, all the fun stuff over to the new key so the skim all matches, and then that way we can run the PT computer. So we've lucked out because we have a parts car, which is part of a whole different series that we're not even gonna get into, but so we do have the front intercooler and stuff because Jeff's car was smashed in the front.
Okay. That's no fucking better.
So we were just about to call it a night. We decided to look at a few things because this is up in the air, and I think it might be the end of the PT. There you go. You can see, technically this would be my rear frame, which would be, it's a unibody car, so that is my structural point. You'll see here, and I've never really noticed, I knew it was soft underneath, but the floor is good up front, so I never looked back here. It is rotten. Like, it's beyond.
Because they come over this side and look. I was saying where this like goes in, where it was a lap.
Oh yeah, like, no, I ain't fixing. That's an accident waiting to happen. So, you can see here too, and up here, right where the spare tire goes.
Yeah.
Like, that's no way. Even, yeah, like seating pull right down. Just grab it and pull. Yeah, like that's... Oh, God. Even up through here. Same as up in there, too.
Yeah. It's the same.
So, that sucks. Because this was the last car Zeus drove in.
Mm.
Unfortunately, guys, this sucks more than I can explain because not only do I have so many parts for this build, you know, my dog had cancer, and literally before he passed away, I was driving around with him in this car because it was cool. Top was down,
just cruising.
You know, he loved it actually. So it was like a vehicle I didn't plan on getting rid of. We have air ride for it. You know, we have the turbo swap literally right there for it. So like, I was just bringing this in to do during the day when Jeff was at work, and then we'd work on the Civic to show you guys the Civic truck, but man, that's structural.
Yeah.
Like the rockers I don't mind, the fenders I didn't mind. I have retrofits that I paid to get done. Like I have so many parts. So I think this is going this weekend then. What are we gonna do with the motor? What are we gonna do with the big turbo?
Well, we can figure something out for that. You never know with that. There's always something that comes along.
I can't put it in that second gen because that was...
No.
Anyways, guys, it sucks. That's all I can say. You know, I expect some things working on ship boxes that we own. Like, let's face it, we're not a big YouTube channel. We don't have tons of money. We're literally, you know, scraping by with what we have, but oh, there's no such thing as a cheap convertible.
Oh man, most of them around here are like $6-7 grand.
For rotten ones. So.
And that's not turbo ones. Turbo ones, they want like $9 grand. One just sold not long ago.
I can't fix that.
No, that's too much.
It goes up too high. It'd be multiple passes.
You'd be chasing it forever.
Yeah, and it's not worth it.